If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish in the Nile, it's just a river. I'm not sure how that saying goes, but our next guests are experts at it. We're talking with Bob and Bethany Salisbury. How you guys doing?
Not bad.
Great.
Yourself?
Did I get that right?
Yeah, actually,
Yes.
yes.
Something like that.
Something like that. Like the steak.
You guys are from Henry, Illinois. Mm-hmm. The best damn town by a dam with
Yes.
yeah.
Something like that.
The thing with the dam.
I don't even know where the dam is.
Right by the boat dock, or right in like the marina.
Oh, where that restaurant?
Yeah, where the fuel state tanks
That's
are
a
at.
dam?
That
It
was
is-
a dam.
It was a dam.
Yep.
Okay. Are you guys getting a new bridge?
At some point,
sounds good.
2027, I think.
You're gonna have to. That
know.
thing, I swear,
terrible.
you can feel it wobble when you drive over it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good.
No.
No, is that where you grew up?
Yes.
I grew up in town, yeah.
Yep. And
Okay.
I grew up a mile and a half from where we currently live, so.
How'd you two meet?
4-H.
Yeah, 4-H.
Really? Mm-hmm. In Henry, I figured you met at a bar.
There's enough of those
There's
there.
a few of those there, yeah.
What was the name of your 4-H club?
Saratoga Leadaways.
Yep.
The what?
Saratoga Leadaways.
Leadaways?
Yep.
Yeah.
How come names of 4-H clubs are always so bad?
I don't know. I started with like the MP Pony Express and then went to Saratoga Leadaways.
Oh, for Marshall Putnam?
Yeah.
Neither of them are good. I went to the Milo Ribbon winners because we can't win trophies apparently.
Yeah.
All right. You guys farm, among a lot of other things. Bob, you grew up on a farm, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Bethany, you did not?
Nope.
You grew up in the town of Henry?
Middle of town on Main Street.
Okay. How long you been married?
Since 19.
2009. Oh, you're newlyweds. Okay. You got 2 kids?
Yep.
How old?
3.5 and 10 months.
Gotcha. Okay, so you guys, you do a lot of things, but let's dive into the plants right away, okay?
Okay.
You grow plants,
Yes.
and you are willing to give them away, correct?
Yes.
So tell me about that.
So I've been growing plants for the homestead for several years now, and we've been having like little mini plant sales in the spring with what we've had extra. It's kind of just been like a hobby I picked up with our oldest daughter. So this year we got involved in 4-H, and I got promoted as the garden club leader.
Voluntold?
Yep, voluntold as the garden club leader because we're implementing a new program called Learn, Grow, Share that we got a grant for. And it focuses on teaching kids how to grow plants and the whole process of like picking them, what you can do with the plants. And to go along with that, we are with 4-H donating a bunch of the extra plants that we're starting. And then I went through and started my entire seed inventory. And we're going to, during our plant sale, we're going to have like a portion where it's like pay what you can. So people that can't really afford food, that don't really go to the food pantry, can get plants and implement a garden. And hopefully by doing that, we make more nutrient dense food available to people who don't normally know how to obtain that.
Yeah. It's definitely a lesson in life when you grow your own food because you can give me a tomato and it can be great, fine and dandy cotton candy. But if I actually get the plant, nurture it, raise that tomato, see that some don't make it, see that bugs get some, but if you get that one, and there's literally nothing better on the face of the earth than that one tomato that you grew yourself.
It's so fulfilling to see the whole process.
Is that what are these? These tomatoes?
Yes, these are tomatoes. These are white currant tomatoes, so they'll be like little tiny white cherry tomatoes. I bet that was not very good.
Kind of regretting that decision.
It's not minty.
Do you want some?
No.
I'll pass. I will pass.
I'm trying to quit.
You guys? No? Okay, yeah, here we go. You gotta have some. At one show, we got him to drink a beer. Oh, he took the whole thing.
Yeah, no, that was a bad decision.
It's not a good decision, is it? Okay, so let's go back to when you guys were kids. You know, Bob obviously grew up on a farm. What kind of farm was that?
Dad worked on farm machinery and then I helped my uncle on the farm. We're growing up early on in age, and then from there, yeah, just learned about everything in life that way.
Gotcha.
How to ranch, how to farm, we had a garden, so yeah.
You work on a farm now, plus you do a bunch of other stuff. You're still wrenching, and
Oh yes.
you're still farming some on your own too.
Well, I got to do all my own hay, and then so yeah.
Okay. And Bethany, you grew up in town, but you had. It seems like when I look at all the things you did, you had more of a rural upbringing.
I did.
Yeah.
I was in the wrong place.
You were a butcher and a slaughter. It says slaughterman, slaughter person.
Yeah, slaughter person, if we're being correct.
What were you slaughtering?
I worked at a locker, so we did mainly beef and hogs,
Yeah.
and then some sheep and goats.
Growing up, did you cut up the deer?
Yeah, growing up, yep, I was taught how to process everything with deer.
Okay, I got a question for you. So when you're skinning a deer, do you hang them the back legs up or the?
Back legs up. That's how
Okay.
I do it.
All right. Now there's a controversy there.
I know.
Other people say you should hang them.
Yeah, I do back legs up.
I don't really care as long as it gets done. Or if somebody else would do it for me, that would be even better. But yeah, I mean that stuff does not bother you.
Nope.
Do you think because you were doing it at such a young age?
I think because it was normalized, yeah.
Yeah. Like
And I
how?
was exposed
What
to
age
it.
were you started?
I remember being like the coffee runner when I was like really, really little.
The what?
The coffee runner. Like you run the coffee back and forth to the garage. Everybody's drinking coffee and standing around
They
processing
were not
deer.
drinking
They
coffee.
They actually were, most of them. But
What were they adding to the
I
coffee?
mean, they were at least making me bring the coffee back and forth. What they were doing afterwards, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then I remember at like 5 years old, my grandpa pushed up a chair and like gave me a knife and had me start learning how to cut up stew meat for deer. And then it kind
five.
of just, yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of just spiraled out of control from there. So
You knew what you were getting into, Bob?
yeah,
Yeah. I kind of gradually, as we progressed in relationship, like, oh boy.
Was it a sharp knife?
probably not. No.
Well, they say
I mean,
a dull knife cuts more.
yeah, I think in my memories it was probably a sharp one, but
Yeah.
I don't think they'd have handed me a sharp
You
one.
had to feel like really big.
I felt like I was on top of the world.
Yeah.
It was much better being out there doing that than like being with the women wrapping the meat in the house. I much preferred being in the garage cutting up the meat.
with your knife.
Yep.
And you guys have livestock now. So what are you raising?
So we got cows and pigs, sheep, and then ducks, chickens, quail,
Okay.
Rabbits?
rabbits.
Do you have those alpacas?
No.
no.
Nope. I'm not a fan. They weird me out because their necks are too long.
They get the weird teeth too, don't they? And they spit. So it's just for your own food?
Yeah, up until now it's just we've been raising to feed like ourselves and like our parents and like siblings. But hopefully this year we're gonna expand a little more.
Do you want to start selling?
We would like to pursue that, yeah.
Yeah. Direct to consumer, or what
Direct,
are you thinking?
yep.
Yeah.
Direct to consumer.
That's a whole different ball game.
It is.
You ready for people eating your meat?
I don't know.
It's seriously because you know what you put into that, right?
Right.
And now
It's a lot
if,
of hard work.
if somebody's just gonna, I don't know, if they don't care.
Disrespect it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even know how else to say it, but if they're not gonna
Yeah.
appreciate
Right.
what they
It's
have.
hard because
yeah.
like sometimes you don't even want to like gift something to somebody because you're like, I don't know if you're gonna appreciate it.
Yeah, in 3 years from now,
This
they're
is a
gonna
lot of
find it
hard
at the
work.
bottom of their
Right.
freezer and then toss it out.
Yeah, throw it away.
I mean, we've all done it.
And you've
right?
like dwelled over that tiny little chicken and been like, come on, little guy, grow strong. And then somebody's
Cook their
just gonna,
steaks well done.
oh, they're gonna well done their steak.
Or if they put ketchup on it.
Oh, even worse.
So is it like the meat chickens?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't actually have any egg-laying chickens.
The broilers or whatever?
Yeah, the
I've
broilers.
heard like when they start to get their white feathers, that's when you butcher them.
At
Is
about
it true?
8 weeks.
That seems awful young.
Yeah.
But we like every farm family, right? You get out there, you have chickens, and then we kept them, and then they were the toughest They were literally too tough to do anything with.
They get tough pretty fast after about 16 weeks. So if
Yeah.
you don't get to them in that time frame, they're
I think ours had a birthday.
like small.
had
Yeah,
a
they get to be like small turkeys, and they get pretty tough.
They get
and
so
like-
big they don't even want to get up to eat anymore.
no.
Now, is this what you're hoping to go into? Is it just the selling of the beef, or do you want to sell everything?
Hopefully everything. We actually found like a USDA processor for the rabbits too. So
Oh, really?
hopefully we can do that as well.
So everything you sell, you have to go through.
It has to be gone through a certified locker.
Okay.
Yep.
You get in trouble if you did it yourself.
Yep. The state of Illinois doesn't let you do that.
I suppose there's some good to that. And
Yeah. I mean, they like to crack down on
you don't
laws.
act like you're very happy about
I don't
that.
know. I feel like food should belong to people, and you shouldn't have to struggle to get the kind of food that your family wants. So,
Let me ask you both this question. Do you feel like we have lost the respect for food in this country?
we have, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we do. We're a very consumer oriented, and I feel like people don't appreciate where food comes from or how hard you have to work for it, or because like we do food from start to beginning, like plants. We start the seeds all the way through canning. We start baby animals all the way through to, freezer, and there's just a lot of work involved and people don't see it.
What do you think, like someone that lives in an apartment building, right, that really doesn't have this opportunity? I mean, is there something that they can do to kind of learn more about where their food comes from?
Yeah, you can always start right where you're at. You can make anything from your kitchen can be replaced with something from scratch. You can make bread, you can put plants in containers and grow that. I mean, or you can support local. Go find your local farmers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys do the farmer market thing?
I tried, but it was kind of hard to get everything together and juggled with the kids and
Yeah.
to the market. So we're hopefully going to open up a farm stand at the end of our drive this year.
Oof. Okay.
And just have it kind of be an honor system
Oh, well, that wouldn't be
farm
so bad.
stand.
See, I always thought the problem with interacting with the people is actually the process of interacting with the people. If I'm going to grow something, a tomato or that, and they're going to, whoa, is this naturally grown? I'm like, shut up and eat it, But you got to have that mentality, right, where you got to be willing to explain stuff.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Do you have that?
I'm working on it really hard. But it's really easy now because now I get to work with the 4-H kids.
Yeah.
So I'm learning on how to get excited with the kids because they're easier to get excited about things than adults are. So hopefully that'll help me with the adults as well.
You're a master gardener?
Fresh from December.
Okay.
I just graduated.
Do you get special parking or what is that?
You don't. I get a little paper printed name badge, and I have taught a few classes. And
Do you get a certificate at least?
I got a certificate, yeah. Yeah. But that's how I got involved with the 4-H too, was with the Master Gardener, and 4-H is partnering on this garden.
So I have a podcast, and when I talk to people, I like to work that in within the first 15 seconds of a conversation. Do you do that with being a master gardener?
No, actually, I don't.
You hide that fact,
I
right?
do.
Is it a secret society? Do you have a
I mean, we
special?
have a handshake.
Do you?
No. I wish we did. That'd be really cool.
I mean, honestly, if it was a secret, you would say you didn't. Okay.
You're just going to have to keep guessing.
Now, Bob is not a master gardener, right?
I'm not, no.
So, if there was a handshake, you couldn't even tell him. It's not. It does.
It's that secretive,
Doesn't go with spouses.
No.
Okay. What do you have to do to become a master gardener?
I took a hybrid class, so it was a few months from September to December. I took a class every week on the internet, and then met and did all of my in-hands portions, or on-hands portions, and passed a final exam. And now I have to do so many hours of volunteer work to go from being an intern to an actual master gardener. And I think I'm just a few hours away from having my official title.
Then you get the handshake.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Food sovereignty. Tell me what that means to y'all.
It means access to the food that your family desires in any way that works for your family.
Healthy food. Though.
Healthy food,
Yeah.
nutrient-dense food, nourishing food, good food.
I was going to say I want access to
Yeah.
Twinkies.
I feel like the general public is smart enough to make their own food decisions and be able to locate and access their own food resources, whether that be from local farms or whatever.
Food prices have definitely
Terrible.
gone up.
Terrible.
Do you think that helps your cause?
Yes.
I don't want to say that it helps my cause because that makes me sad
Bob
that
did.
so many more people are finding it hard to
Right.
buy groceries. And I know that there's this gap that where like a lot of people that are struggling to buy groceries don't qualify for like resources like the food pantry and things like that. So that's hopefully the gap that we're trying to reach, is the ones that don't quite qualify but are still struggling.
Yeah. But I know if I want pancakes, right, I could buy the flour. And
Yeah.
I don't even know
Yep,
what
the
goes in
ingredients.
pancakes. I don't care because I'm going to
basic
buy
big box.
the mix,
Yeah.
right? And it's going to be more expensive, but I'm going to use the convenience of that. And has that been kind of just a multi-generational degrade in people understanding where their food comes from? What's all involved? What are all the ingredients?
Yeah.
What's the ingredients of a
Yes.
tomato?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of shocking for my 4-H kids because we had a lot of seeds donated that were heirloom, and so they didn't realize that tomatoes came in all different colors and shapes and sizes. And we got some eggplants that are like teeny tiny, like dime sized, and then some that are green and some that are white. And
I didn't even know they had eggplants that small.
Yeah, they do. They're called little frog egg.
What do you use them for?
eggplants. I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out together with the kids.
Okay.
Probably stir fry. I think that'd be good, or pickled.
You can find out.
We're gonna find out.
Do you can?
I do.
That's a lost art.
Yeah.
Who taught you?
Actually myself and YouTube.
That's the thing. You can find out. You literally can find out how to raise your own food
It's
anymore.
all out there.
We talk to a lot of first-generation farmers. I'm like, how'd you even know how to do this? And the answer is always YouTube.
YouTube.
I mean, you have to probably watch 10 videos before you find one good
A lot.
one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of people like to talk about themselves on YouTube, don't they?
They do. There's a lot of
You go
fluff.
through half of the video before you ever get to the informational portion.
Don't get me started, Bob. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I've done a video. It's been really busy here, but oh my, show me how to raise a eggplant, nimwit. Now, Bob, do you get in on all this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm usually the groundwork ahead of the planting.
Yeah. Is it done by hand or you got a rototiller?
Well, yeah, I got rototiller, and then we tarp now. So
You
weeds,
tarp?
Yeah. So weeds are kind of a thing of the past now.
Oh, so you,
We plant through like a commercial tarp.
for me, that has never worked. We used to do that, and then I guess I don't stake it down enough, and it's
Yeah.
always by June, it's blowing
Yeah.
By
into the
out in the
neighbors.
tundra out
Yeah.
there.
The prairie usually does its number on that.
We used like extra stakes.
One year we did the bale garden.
Oh,
It didn't work.
No.
No, it
No.
didn't.
no.
They didn't tell you had to water that like every single
Yeah.
minute.
And then halfway through, if you got a lot of wheat seed in it or oat seed in it,
Yeah, found out that one too.
Growing like a chia pet out of a straw
They're
bale.
like, oh, we won't have to weed this. And literally, it was just a solid clump of. But Bobby, you do some mechanic work too,
I do a little bit on the side, do a little bit, mainly for myself, but
and you've got a very unfortunate bad habit
yes.
of collecting antique tractors.
Yes, yes.
How many do you have?
Too many.
Yeah, that's.
I think I've got 20 or so at the time
If
being.
you count, it becomes a
Yes.
disease.
Yes.
Otherwise, you just kind of
Yes.
exist with it.
Which
Yes.
one's your favorite?
Oh, of my own, probably. I know.
Sounds like
You gotta-
21's coming.
You got to pick one. If I had to say, I've got an Oliver 66 diesel. That's probably my favorite.
Okay. Which one's your least favorite?
I wouldn't have one that's my least
Smart
favorite.
man.
I wouldn't own it if
You
it
knew
was
what
my
was
least.
coming next. Well, if that one's your least favorite, we
I
could
know.
probably get rid of it.
Exactly. You got to watch your words there.
It's hard to describe to people. I've got an old Alice, right? It's something very fun. It's like thinking when you're on it, you're like, man, somebody was farming with this 50, 60 years ago, and this was their main tractor.
That's how they made their living.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, have you been able to convince your wife of why it's so important to preserve this part of history?
She's on board.
Yeah.
Yep.
We only use antique tractors on the homestead.
Do you guys ever go tooling around
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
side by side?
Yeah. We have.
I bought her a tractor too.
What'd
has
you
one
buy
at
her?
home. She has an Oliver 70.
Guess
Then-
you truly
yep.
loved her. You buy her John Deere, wouldn't you?
Ooh. Yep. And both of our kids will have one of their own too. Anna has a Oliver 60. So.
Yeah, very cool. So, all right, kind of a general question, but if you could wave a wand and change anything about like how people viewed food, where they came from, what would your wish be?
Oh, okay.
That's a great question.
It's
It'd be nice if I gave that to you
it's
beforehand.
a touchy topic for me because I feel like when people are trying to buy direct from a farmer, you see the store's price tags, and people don't argue with the store's price tags. They just pay for it. But like when you go to buy your food from a farmer, for some reason people feel the need to like discount your food.
Why is that?
And they expect you to come down on all of your prices, and they don't realize that like you are personally responsible for paying for all of those licenses that you need, and like all of the like egg cartons and things like that. Like you have so much more invested than like the big box store does, and your food is more nutritional because like you are caretaking this food in a way that like you would want to partake in the process. And so I feel like that's a big touchy topic because they just pay it at the store, but then they come and they are like, I don't understand why your food is $2 more.
I know, and you can't hit them.
Yeah,
It's the damnedest thing. Yeah.
it's not legal.
You are 100% right. And, everything you buy in a grocery store is safe. Absolutely safe.
It's very safe, yeah.
But I mean, if you pick a tomato and sell it the way you are, it's going to be a lot more ripe, and the taste is always going to be better. You can't. People argue it, you're done. You can't argue it. It's going to be better buying it local. But yeah, you're right. And that's all you go through a farmer's market. That's all you see is people trying to.
And there's a history and like
being
a
so cheap.
there's a tangible history and process around what you're buying locally than just going to the store and grabbing it off the shelf.
That's a lesson. You can give a man a fish, and if he goes to sell that fish, quit being so cheap. All right, if people want to find you on the old interweb, where do they go?
We are mostly active on Facebook under Saratoga Homestead. And then we have a website, and it's saratogahomestead.com. So that entails all of our process there.
That's a township.
It is a township.
It is.
Marshall County?
Yep.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. So we named it Saratoga Homestead because our children are 7th generation in Saratoga.
It was a fort in the Revolutionary War?
I think so.
Was it Revolutionary? I shouldn't have said anything because now I'm going to get
Now we're all
emails.
going to regret it.
I can't believe you didn't know Saratoga was it. Well, I like what you guys are doing, and I love the fact that you are willing to put your money where your mouth is. Can't be easy actually giving away stuff that you've worked on.
It's fun growing it, so I enjoy seeing everybody else enjoy it.
Yeah.
So as long as you know that it's going to someone that's going to appreciate it, someone that needs it, that's what it's all about.
Yep.
Yep.
We need more good people like you guys.
And I think it's also something good for like our kids. It's something for them to see and grow up doing that. Like, this is how we did this growing up. And it's a good learning thing for them too.
That's right.
Yep.
And just like you said, Bob, it's time to get rid of some of those tractors. Bob and Bethany, Salisbury from Henry, Illinois. Thank you very much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Everybody else, we'll catch you next week.